going to show you how to build a H-brace using wood posts. We've got our end post, our brace post, and our top rail. So when you hear us talk about the different components, you'll know what that is. So not a whole lot in this brace as far as that goes. We do have in here a short brace pin. We've got a long brace pin here on the end that we drive part way in. We leave a little bit sticking out so we can catch our twitch wire on it. A twitch wire is that diagonal wire that we put in there. And we're going to do this one with high tensile smooth wire. And we're going to tension it up using an inline strainer. Basically the wire goes in there and then this ratchets it up tight. We'll fasten it together on a smooth wire using a crimping sleeve, squeeze together with a crimp tool. So in order to get started, what we're going to do, and again, our twitch wire always goes from the top of our brace post to the bottom of our end post. So we'll take a single staple, go down here to the bottom, drive it in sideways, and then we'll just take a second staple, drop it down over top of that, and that's just so that we get some nice movement of our wire, doesn't dig into it. Up here on the other end, we'll kind of repeat that process. We'll take another staple, put it in sideways, and then we'll take a second staple and started to use the panel staple. It's a little bit bigger, and then we just take our panel staple, we drop it down over there, kind of goes over our brace pin, and that gives us a nice surface there that our brace cable will slide around. All right, so we're going to use a high tensile smooth wire for our twitch wire. Again, that's our diagonal wire on there. We're going to put it together using a crimping sleeve. We take that sleeve, it's a figure 8, and one wire goes in the top, the other wire goes in the bottom. So we slide that down on the wire. We take our inline strainer, put it on there like that, and I always bring it over, and then I take this wire and give it a little bit of a bend. That way, when I put my crimping sleeve in there, it's a nice flat surface, and I can just slide it right up there like that. So that's how we do that crimping sleeve. Now we are going to take a moment and crimp it together. So we're going to use our 2-slot crimp tool, also available from Bekaert. In our crimping sleeve, we want to make sure that it lays right in there real nice on the sleeve and the 2 grooves in the tool. And then we'll just take that, squeeze it together, move our tool down a little bit, squeeze it together, move our tool down a little bit again, squeeze it together, and that's our finished crimp. Now in order to clean this up a little bit, we can take that wire, bend it up like that, and go around our wire a time or two, and we can break that off. And it gives a nice finish on there that's not going to catch on anything. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that we can go around our post with the wire. I like to figure 8 mine. Basically the reason I do that is it keeps my inline strainer away from the fabric, and also if I'm building electric fence, it brings that together a little bit where you don't run into the problem of the wires touching on it. You can just make a couple loops like that as well. It's just kind of a matter of personal preference. So basically we're going to make a loop. We start behind that post, we come up here, come back down here around to the front. At this point we can pull some of our wire off, and we just kind of keep working that around. And we bring it up around the top again. And we'll come back down here with our wire. So I can come around the back side. All right, so now we want to push this wire down and get it over our staple. So now we've got it up there, and we're going to pull this together right in here. So again, practicing safety. We'll make sure that we've got good grip on that wire. Now hold these two together. Okay, so now we're ready to start tensioning it using our inline strainer. The inline strainer actually has a hole in it right here, and we're going to stick that wire through that hole. I'm going to move this up just a little bit, and we'll go through that hole. As you can see, make sure that we're still underneath there. Bend that back a little bit. And just manually get some wraps on there so it doesn't come loose on us. And one of those areas where you're going to want to pay a little bit of attention to your wire. It can sometimes slip out of there, and we don't want you to get hit in the face with it. So now to tension this, we take our handle, and our handle drops right down over our inline strainer like that. Again, there's a number of different styles on the market, but they all basically tension the same way. So we're just going to ratchet that together. Now, before we get too far along, one of the things that we always want to check is we want to come up here and make sure that our wires are not overlapping each other. Same way down here, we want them to lay one on top of each other. You can, at this point, grab your inline strainer, give it a little bit of a jerk, and then just continue to ratchet that up. So that's basically what it's going to look like. Again, want to make sure we're laid nice and flat here. That wire goes over our staple real nice. Come up here, same way. It just runs right over top of that. Now to finish this up, I usually grab it one more time like this. Just give it a good pull. You can see I got a little bit more slack out of it. We'll just go ahead and tension that a couple more clicks. And that's good. So the idea of the twitch wire, and the reason that we put that in there, our wire is going to be tied off right here on this end. So as we're pulling that wire this way and tensioning it, this post wants to move. So as this post tries to move that way, it pushes our top rail against our brace post. The tension on this wire increases and literally pushes that post back down into the ground and keeps the whole brace square. General rule of thumb on this is that we want our length of our top rail to be 2.5 times the height of our fence. So if you're building a 4-foot fence, ideally we want to have a 10-foot top rail on it. If we're building a 5-foot fence, ideally we want to have a 12-foot top rail. You put them together the same way, and remember, the twitch wire always goes to the bottom of your end or corner post.